Does Blizzard really watch my videos? I asked Blizzard for a proper ranking system back in 1993, and BAM! We got a proper ranking system with colors! I told them about this pillar being OP, and BAM! They fixed it in a day! I asked for solo queue, and BAM! We got rejected! And in my mind, holy Jesus, these guys actually watch and listen. I actually want to start the video out by saying good job, Blizzard. Good job. I know a lot of people will say BFA sucks, but to be honest, as a long-time World of Warcraft player, I've been enjoying BFA the most, and it might be my favorite expansion. Not because of the class designs, but they did an amazing job in bringing back World PvP, such as adding War Mode and World Quest. I've had an awesome experience of 1v1s, 1v3, 40 vs 40, getting jumped by hordes. It's been a blast. I know Blizzard gets a lot of crap for having such an unbalanced game, but I want to say the opposite. I'm proud of you, Blizzard. They deserve some credit. Compared to the previous expansions where they took months or even years to fix a small thing in PvP, good job. Yes, there was a lot of busted comps and OP as right traits. There are still many out there. They even had an issue in the tournament where everyone was using this OP trinket and no one was dying. The announcers were sounding a little bit confused as well.
What could be potentially the highest dampening that we've ever seen in the history of World of Warcraft. At this point, we can just take our bets. This shield trinket doesn't seem to be affected by dampening.
Available. Big swap now over on aggro. Trinket's gonna proc to keep him alive in this situation. Ratified's man is not doing well. Looney in a good position, throwing out the heals. But Team
and here comes the issue of us blaming everything on the devs. It is their fault for not catching it fast, but we gotta understand that it's a little bit complicated when they're constantly adding new traits, new items, and to balance that out with PvE and PvP, it's some work. So I just want to say, let's not harass the devs. I feel like they're fixing things way faster than before, and I like that a lot. And the whole point of this video is so that I can help them out. I feel like Blizzard needs someone that can give them a good feedback in this game, and I'm here to help, brother. As you can see, we have a list of all the classes in World of Warcraft. Here we will talk about what classes need to be buffed or nerfed. And I will also go over the previous patch notes to see if the changes were good or not. I want to make a video like this once in a while so that I can keep Blizzard up to date on what things are out of control, so make sure to post on my Reddit page. Just post a video or a screenshot of something you see that is out of control. A little disclaimer before we start the video. I am not going to talk about tanks. I wanted them to have a spot in the PvP section, but they are just annoying and unkillable. Tell them to get out. Get out! Out! JK, I love you guys. I just don't want to talk about it. As you can see, we are going to start with the warrior. And warriors only got nerfed. Arms warrior specifically. And I feel like the arms nerfs were delivered pretty well, and they definitely needed this nerf. I know a lot of you guys will say, we didn't need that nerf. Why'd you guys do it? But deep inside, you know it was OP. Arms warrior was way too strong at the start of expansion. So I think the changes are good and they can leave them as they are right now. They're still really strong in the arena and have a lot of viable comps to play in. On the other hand, Fury Warrior is just a side dish. Once again, like in Legion, everyone prefers to play with arms because of MS. And Fury only brings in big burst damage. They really don't have good defensive, and I feel like Arms Warrior can do that big burst, so there's no point of playing Fury Warrior in the arena. I'm not sure what Blizzard could do with them, but they gotta do something about Fury Warriors. And next we have the Monk. Let's start with the Windwalker Monk. Caught you red-handed, boys. Open up the policies here. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, Windwalker. I remember everyone saying it's bad, but there is actually a build where you one-shot people. And that needs to go away. They need to nerf the damage by a little bit. I don't want them to strip them, but just a little bit. It just does too much damage.
Clapping, dude. Clapping.
Oh, fucking hell!
Shoot this kick. Healing up. What is that, dude? That makes no sense. As you can see, Windwalkers pump. They always top damage as well. And now let's talk about Mistweavers. What's up, you guys? Or they didn't really touch Mistweaver. They haven't done anything to it.
Yeah, but they've nerfed all healers though.
Oh,
30% mana
the mana
regen,
regen, right?
I think Mistweavers right now are really good. They're in a good place based on their healing output. But the issue with Mistweaver and a lot of other healers like Disc right now, and almost every other healer except our Druids in a lot of cases, is just the mana regen is nerfed by 30%. Number one, we're just seeing a ton of people at high rating abuse hybrid classes because of the off heals to make up for the fact that
dude, I know. Tell me about it.
Right. Like you don't spend as much mana, so you the other healer. So a lot of people are just other people.
I feel like Feral Druid and Shamans, their off heals are crazy. If you've been watching the tournament, they always have a Feral or a Shaman.
Yeah. So the biggest problem I feel like is the mana regen, especially for Disc. Like Disc was in a good spot, but now they just so fast that no one wants to play Disc because you just play with the Resto Druid just based on how much healing you do, but how much mana they're spending.
You think they should buff the mana regen, or you think they should nerf the Druid as well?
I always am a bigger fan of not nerfing things, but buffing other classes. I think the mana regen nerf was just like really sudden and too much. It was too big. They should have tried out like 15%, 10%, and then slowly like brought it down.
I kind of want them to just keep it like this and then maybe nerf Druid's mana, because I don't want the game to go dampen mode, you know?
Yeah.
If you go faster, the game won't last longer. I kind of like that concept. I have a lot of clips where these healers are right? Like,
but they're not really
They're legit 1% mana, and we're at 60% dampening, and they keep healing. And I'm like, what is this game right now?
Yeah. So one thing about that is like not all healers can do that. Like Mistweaver, when you're you're Like there is no like you're you have to get a drink. 100%. I can show you clips. You're
5 clips of Mistweaver.
Look, where am I?
No, he's Cyclone. He's not even worried.
I stun. 100 maybe.
Stop. Give me. Nice. Oh, he hit me out.
Wow, how he's fucking healing. Oh.
I don't know, dude.
Dude, monks don't need mana.
Scary.
You're actually dead. He's actually dead.
Nice. Thank God, dude.
Oh, he's fucking HP.
Second word.
Fucking shit, didn't make you assist. I got this shit.
No, I'm sapped.
Dude, fuck this game. My God, dude, how he's healing like
Second
this?
boom me. And dampening's fucking 31%, by the way.
How he's healing like this?
I can climb. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking bullshit.
I don't know, he's healing with 5% mana all game, dude.
Like there is no like you're you have to get a drink. 100%. I can show you clips. You're
5 clips of Mistweaver.
But if for example, if that, I mean, I'm not saying that's the only way to do it. So if you wanted to bring down Resto Druid, I think the best thing would just to nerf their healing, because if you nerf their healing, then they have to heal more, which means they spend more mana. Yeah, because some Druids never leave.
And and then the thing is, they recently buffed our Druids. I saw a lot
made
of
no sense.
other players talking about it. That's why they're all running like RMD, because Druids
no
such
more
a strong
RMP.
healer.
Why would you play RMP? Like,
why are we playing RMD and not RMP? Druid is really strong, and they're getting another buff on Wednesday. I don't know what Blizzard has been eating, but they're not eating healthy, and that's for sure. When I say another buff, I mean a buff as in like, why the fuck are they? They're so OP, that's why they shouldn't get a buff, and then they're getting a buff. I have no words, I don't know. I wish I could just, you know, sometimes whine to them, but I can imagine for them it's super annoying to listen to us people crying all the time.
You already win on mana versus this priest.
And then they pump a lot more heal. So I guess basically, I mean, we went off topic, so you just want to talk about the mana for Mistweaver.
So the mana for Mistweaver is important.
So basically, Mistweavers are fine. He just wanted to talk about mana. All the healers compared to Druids, Druids are way better with their mana and their healing. So I think the way to solve this problem is, Zeus was talking about buffing the other healers, but I think they should just nerf Druid, and then all the healers will stay in the same level. I think that's a good end right there. Last question, DPS nerfs, what would you...
So, Assassination Rogues doing too much damage right now. They're doing way too much.
The thing is, like, when I talk about nerfs, I don't want them to over nerf it where it's like unplayable. I'm talking about like tiny
5% over and over again. Just that's why I don't get why they don't do that. If Blizzard's smart, just do small nerfs.
Yeah, like, just do small nerfs. Don't do big and make it unplayable. That's what I hate too.
What's the harm in doing 5%? Oh, it's not enough. We'll do another 5%. Like don't do 10, 15, 20%. It's insane numbers, you know. But it's like they're just like, oh, we'll just do like screw it, 30% nerf. It's so much.
Yeah.
But I think Demon Hunter is doing too much damage. It has way too much CC capability. I think Assassination Rogue is doing too much damage. Enhance can do a lot of burst.
Yeah, Enhance is pretty scary.
And they have great off heals.
I'm not a big fan of like the one-shot stuff, so I feel like they should nerf it a little bit.
Oh, I have one more class actually.
Go ahead.
Windwalker Monk.
Oh, dude, they already busted. They're already in jail right now. Next up, we have the Druids, and starting off with Pharaoh, you can see all the buffs they have been receiving. They are in a very good spot. In my opinion, the buffs were in because they were doing really bad in PvE. I was actually really afraid and was hoping that they wouldn't get overbuffed, and I think they're perfectly fine. Just reduce a little bit of their off heals. I think it's a bit too much.
Do it.
Big.
I'll recycle.
No.
I'll recycle. Let me cycle.
Cycle.
Do it.
Nice. How is he full health, dude? I don't know.
Feral off heals. I cycle Feral.
He was
This is
CC for like
ridiculous.
days.
No, it's the Feral off heals, man.
Now, get bubble. Empty. Get ready.
Yeah, off healing. Look at that.
Look at that. Someone clip it. Fast. Clip it.
And for balanced Druid, Incarn is way too scary. Incarn.
Alright, it's my Incarn, I guess, too.
Okay.
Oh!
What?
You recording that?
I recorded that, dude.
Oh my god.
Same thing, I think their off heals need to be toned down. Resto Druid as well. A lot of people are saying they are the strongest. So maybe revert that tiny buff Resto Druid received. Maybe just for PvP. I'm pretty sure the buff came in due to PvE heal.
Wait, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How's the stream, dude?
It's good. I'm 5% done, Donegal. Get tired.
5% Dono go?
5%.
Holy cow, you're killing it, dude.
Dude, you tell me, man. I'm really proud of my viewers right now. Feel the love.
Thank you for the support, guys. Okay, Clack, so the video is on about buffs and nerfs, and I've already talked about the Druid, and I thought I'd ask you because you are a professional Druid player, right? The professional.
Wow.
Like, what do you think? Do you think they're in a good spot or a bad spot? What could Blizzard do?
I think we're a good spot, but I think if we get nerfed, we'd be hurting. For sure.
Like,
I think we're fine.
I know from the most people I talk to, I feel like they're all saying Resto is a bit too strong. And the only buff they received was all healing spell increased by 3%. Maybe just revert that and you'll be fine, I guess.
I mean, people were considered it strong before that. The thing is like if people just purge, it's pretty much like our heals don't do anything. Like it can be very easily countered. Like mages, like Klepto, all your hots, boom, gone.
Right,
like,
right. That is
so. People that are saying it's really strong, I feel like they just don't know how to counter.
They just don't know how to counter it.
Yeah, and like Resto Druid's survivability is horrible. like really bad. So I don't know what they. If they nerf that, like we're gonna still be struggling.
So you think they should just keep it as right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Like they can do the revert 3%, sure. Like,
yeah, that's not that much.
Yeah.
That's a little
go for it.
sprinkle.
If that's what makes people feel happy, but sure. But like, yeah.
If that's
like,
what makes them happy.
Like I don't want it to be like another expansion where it's like Legion all over again. Like,
okay. Yeah. I understand.
Wait, are you recording right now?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Oh god, I said F word.
And I hear you like smashing buttons.
You hear that?
Okay, can I also get the input of Feral Druids and Balanced Druid? Like, you think they're in a good spot?
I think Feral Druid's fine. I think Balanced Druid's Incarn can be nerfed a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I said too. And then I also mentioned the off heals for Feral and Balance. You think they should keep it as or nerf it a little bit?
Feral, they need to be nerfed. Balance, I think Balance is fine.
You think Balance is fine?
Yeah.
I pop wing and you're 100% health.
No, yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, because like it's either like in arena, if they're spamming heals, that means they don't get the spam clones.
Okay.
So it's like you pick and choose.
That was short and quick. You know, Bonnie, I called him for this. He talked to me for like 2 hours. What classes do you think needs to get nerfed like ASAP?
Demon Hunter.
Demon Hunter.
Demon Hunter. I would have to say.
Clark, this is an interview. Can you stop like clinging your little fork everywhere?
This is an interview?
Like get close to your mic. Give me a proper.
Start the interview. Here we go. Go again. I would love Blizzard to nerf Demon Hunters, Windwalkers a tad bit. That Rising Sun is a little bit ridiculous. Boomkins and Karn. And I think Warrior's damage is fine. It might be really strong, but I like. Is it really necessary for them to get nerfed?
I think yeah. I mentioned Warriors got enough. I think they're okay where they stand.
Yeah. I agree too.
You basically, I think everyone I asked, they're all the same. They all say DH, Windwalker Monk, Boomkin, and that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Bonnie was actually complaining about Warrior, but
Warrior as a Shadow Priest. Warrior's too strong. Nerf.
Chat, behave, be nice to the streamer. Love you guys. I'm gonna go work on this video. Peace. Alright, next we have Hunters. Hunters, let's start with BM. I think BM got plenty of nerfs. I think they're fine as where they stand. As well as Survival Hunters, I think they're fine. I see a lot of Hunters, but I don't think they're too much of a threat. I think they're good where they stand. On the other hand, Marksman Hunter is kind of like Fury Warriors now. Marksman was the most played in Legion, and now no one plays it at all.
Hello.
What's up, Bagairo?
Probably give Marks more damage, like 10% all the damage.
10% to all damage? Isn't that a lot?
All damage. Yeah.
Are they that weak?
Like, damage sucks. I don't like the gameplay of MM2. I think they should change the way of play MM right now, cause MM right now basically look like a Death Warlock, you know? Just cast and...
To put it in a short note, basically what he said was MM has too much casting, it doesn't do the right damage for the casting to pay off, and also why play MM when you can just play Survival and BM, because whenever he plays MM, they just pillar hump him and he can't do any damage at all. So to solve this problem, maybe increase the damage by a little bit, or make the casting a little bit faster. And I think the MM Hunters will be happy to come back into the game. He also mentioned if it would be possible to bring back this ability they had back in Mr. Pandaria. It was a glyph. Whenever he would mend a pet, it would remove one magical effect on the pet. That way he could control his pet properly, and it won't be CC'd all the time with roots or polymorphs. Alright, last question. If you had to name a few classes that need to be nerfed ASAP, what would you say?
DHN. I don't care to the game, nothing. Boomy.
DHN Boomy?
No, that's not strong. That's OP. Like it makes zero sense. I don't know if anyone in Blizzard will see that, but you guys don't know what you're doing with the DH. Cause okay, for example, I'll buff that class with a lot of damage. Okay, I'll put a lot of damage in that class, but that class had to take a lot of damage too, because okay, I can do a lot of damage, but I can die easy. So not gonna be OP because I have to run more to survive it. So I cannot do a lot of damage. You know what I mean? But DH, the best defensive of the game, the best mobility from the game, and the best damage of the game, and the best cleave of the game. Like, I don't know, like DH it's not a class. You know what I mean? It's a Superman. I don't know. Like, it's impossible they let DH better than now, you know? Like nothing they can do will be better. And DH have Purge, dude, and magical CS kick, and ranged too. So okay,
that's actually true. They do have a ranged kick. Holy cow!
Like this. Okay, if I play Holy Paladin, okay, that DH will kill me now. Okay, his kick is magical, but his damage is not magical. Okay, I'll just bop here, and I'll be okay. Now, if you bop, he gonna kick you, and after he kick you, he will purge your bop and kill you. You know? So, I don't know, like, DH got double stun, one AoE stun too, one AoE stun and one single stun. DH got in cap, DH fly, DH have immune, netherwalk, something like this. DH have blur. Short cooldown.
Next we have the Paladin. Starting off with the Holy Paladin, I'm going to be honest, I think Holy Paladins stand good where they are right now. They also received a buff, which is really good for them, and they have a lot of utilities, defensive cooldowns, and there's not much to say about them. Retribution Paladin, on the other hand, they do massive damage, really scary, especially if they pop wings, but they're easily countered because of their mobility. And that's one issue in the arena. High rated players, they know how to counter reds, so whenever you pop wings, you just get CC'd or kited. And I feel like we can use a tiny mobility buff for red paladins, because they're the only class with no instant connection. Like DK on the other hand, they have grip to instant connect, warriors have charge, leap, Pharaohs have good mobility, Windwalkers as well. There's not much to say. Like rogues have shadow step, red paladin is the only one that can't connect instantly. We have to steed, but steed gets slowed. If we free them can get purged or stolen. So I feel like they gotta do something about red's mobility. Either give them long arm of the law, or make it where steed doesn't get slowed. And I think the problem will be solved right there. Next we have the mages. Honestly, I've seen all three mages. I think Frost is the most popular out of all of them, just because of their CC and their slows. Their slows are just cancer right now. I don't know how everyone feels about it. I'm pretty sure the mages love the slow, but I feel like it's a little overdone. So all three mages still viable. Fire is still the underdog, but I do see them up there. So I feel like they're all playable. To talk about the changes, fire damage buff, that's really good. Arcane mages nerfs are really good. I remember I got Arcane Barrage for like 50Ks, and I would just die instantly without even using my cooldowns, because I didn't think I'd die one shot like that. Frost mage changes were good too. And let's move on to rogues. So rogues, me and Stoops talked about earlier. I think the nerfs were good. I don't think it was over nerf. Rogue is still one of the very powerful classes out there. Outlaw still playable, even at the tournaments we get to see them. Sub rogue still playable. Assassin, on the other hand, a lot of people are saying they're the best rogue spec now because they haven't been touched. Outlaw and sub rogue have gotten all the nerfs. Assassin didn't get too much, but I feel like assassin rogues should have that damage. Maybe nerf a little bit of it, but I think they should have it because they don't have their Azurite trait where it reduces their Vendetta cooldown, and healers or DPS can easily pop a cooldown and counter the Vendetta. Overall, I think rogues are in a fine spot right now, and I remember a rank 1 rogue telling me that even if the nerfs come in, or they do a little bit more, it's not gonna matter because they always have the utility, and good players will make good plays and push on. Also, rogues have 3 specs to play around, so they have the luxury of choosing what spec to play as. So next up we have the Demon Hunter, and if you already haven't heard, everybody talked about it. Demon Hunter does a little bit too much damage. I feel like they need to nerf that. They're already a really good class to begin with. They have good defensives, darkness, immunity, flying up in the air, good CC, good mobility, and damage. So they have everything they need. The damage is just a little bit too much, so tune that down, and I think they'll be fine. DKs, on the other hand, are frowned upon. Honestly, I think Unholy DKs are in an okay spot. It's definitely not tier S, it's tier A. I remember in the beta there were the top dogs spreading so much damage, and those nasty necrotic strike killing everyone. But those days are over, and I think they are in an okay spot. And for Frost DKs, I'm not sure what Blizzard can do. The only thing Frost DKs had in Legion was pure damage. They did a little bit too much. So in BFA, they tuned that down, and they were sided on the weaker side now. So I guess they could do a damage buff for Frost DK, but I do not want them to buff it to where they just do unhealable stupid damage, just like in Legion. So a little tuning, and I think they'll be fine. And next we have the almighty Warlocks. And yes, a lot of people are complaining about Warlocks currently, and I agree. I think they are underperforming, and they're definitely not stronger than other classes right now, except for Destruction Warlock. Affliction's not bad as well. But instead of me talking about Warlocks, let's have a professional Warlock come in and talk about his opinion in the Warlock currently.
Damage is fine and everything, and like this design is fine. It's just that you take too much damage.
Yeah, everyone's saying Warlocks are paper right now.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, I agree on the part. Like, I think damage wise it looks fine. It's just,
yeah, I'm doing a lot of damage, but it's just like to some classes is just like not possible. They can force something like every kidney or every sharpen, and you can't really do anything about it if they're not, you know, bad.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not even like playing arena at the moment. But it's like possible to play. Like there is a high like Resto Warlocks, but you play with Spirit Linked Shaman. And
what do you think about Affliction Warlocks? Is it about the same thing? Just damage is okay, but defense is really weak.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Dakrov's stream, he dies. So he's like playing it, but he dies like instantly. The only way you can play is like with a mage or a LE shaman that's like one-shotting or controlling the game while you try to live. The overall design is good, it's just that you take too much damage.
Way too much, huh? What do you think they could do to fix the issue? Like,
I mean, they could just like reduce the overall damage you take from players, I guess. Shouldn't be a hard fix, honestly.
I think there is a simple solution to this. I remember when I played back in Vanilla and BC, I had a spell called Demon Skin, and basically what it did was it would give you a set amount of armor for 30 minutes. I know Mage had this buff too, like Frost Armor. Blizzard could bring back something similar to this, and it will make Warlocks feel a lot safer, and I think it'll be good for the game. Don't make it too strong though, we don't want Warlocks to be busted. Just a safe amount of number to make them feel good. Blizzard can either put this in as a baseline spell, or if they think it's too strong, you can add it as an honor talent or as raid trait. Okay, last one, Demonology. I think Demonology is like the least played.
Yeah.
What do you think they could do to fix Demonology?
It takes less damage, but it's like it doesn't do enough damage to force shit. Like the thing is, like Warlocks as well, they were more consistent in Legion with the damage. They could always like bang, but now I feel like they're kinda meh. and when you have your big pop, your 3-minute CD, if you fuck that up, like, you can't do anything. You need to force, like, it's more skill now, but I don't know.
It's really hard to
you do like
because there's so many people that can just counter or just pop defensives and counter that. So it requires you to build up, but I guess that's a little tough.
Yeah. I guess you need to play with something that, like, if left alone, can like win the game alone pretty much. And you can just, the description of Warlock is a tanky caster, but it's really not at all. Like Shadow Priest with 100 stack Void Form is so much tankier than any Warlock spec.
So just to make them a little bit more tankier is
like, I think everything else is fine. I think I'm not sure about Warlock Demo Burst. It's only like Sorcery playing it with Enhancement Shaman, and he played it like he got rank 1 with that comp last season, and he's like a 2.2. So it's kind of like shit, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Because Sorcery is like, he was one of only 2 Demolocks that got rank 1.
And so, he's now 2200.
Yeah.
If you can name a few class that needs to get nerfed like ASAP, what class?
My number 1 pick is easily like the Garrote trait on Asa Rogues.
Oh, Asa Rogue,
I don't get why they make like BM Hunter and Asa Rogues and like Demon Hunters, like the easier specs to play, be the best specs. It's like a pattern. Take a step back with the sign of Windwalker, because now their damage on like Clothes and shit, because they have physical damage, is just too high. Resto Druids.
Resto Druids, okay.
Resto Druids like heals way too much, I think. Like, look at the tournament, every game with a Resto Druid wins to 50. And Discipline Priest does way too much damage. They can like
they do
easily, they are like a major Warlock if they can free cast.
You know, there's been games where myself, I do less damage than the priest at the end of the game, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I played
right
with
now?
like Hydra and Efflux, and they do like same damage as me. We like, when we played, it was mostly skirmish, because now they like left me in the ditch and they RMP.
Oh, man.
I mean, if they just reduce the damage of Smite and increase like the atonement healing from Smite, for me it's obvious what they can fix, but I don't know, they always like over nerf it. They should do like small 1% change and like 0.5% change, and they like wait. But
Yeah, I agree with that.
Over represented, and they just like nerf it with 40%.
That's
but
way
it
too
might
big.
not be too broken. It might be like an easy class and pretty broken, so it's like it gets popular, but you need to like look what's working on high rating, honestly.
True. Yeah, I totally agree with that small nerf. Instead of just doing big nerfs and making the class unplayable, they need to do like small changes.
They got a bit better with it though.
Yeah, they are a bit better, I gotta give them credit. And the hotfixes, actually, they're doing it faster than before, so I'm actually happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, I see improvement, which is good, but like Warlock is kinda unplayable. Like, it's so Q dependent.
Alright, next we have the Shaman. I'm supposed to have a special person for this. You know who it is. The guy who's watching, you know who it is. Time difficulty in this video. In this video, I have everyone from like EU, NA, Brazil. This is like a worldwide video, gentlemen, and I have not been sleeping. Well, my schedule's so messed up. Working on this video. Anyways, thought I'd let you guys know that. Let's go over the Shaman. Shaman, to be honest, I think our Shamans are fine. They're in a good spot. I remember they got a Riptide buff, and I was like, nani? And then they reduced it again in PvP because it was too much. And also Drainer made a post about, don't do it, Blizzard. Good thing you guys reverted it. It's still looking a little strong. I don't want to say nerf it. We'll just see. We'll let it flow, see how it goes. And also in this video, I'm just making it so that Blizzard can watch this and they can tweak all these classes that have been mentioned so far, and after that go back in there, let the game play itself. If there's some classes that are performing too well, too low, go back in there and tweak that and make the game a better place. Balance the game little by little. I'm here to help, brother. I will make update videos like this. Thought I'd let you guys know. I love this game and I want it to be a better place. Also add in solo queue. That will be the end game. Oh, that will be a killer, dude. That would be a killer for a while. That would be the best, dude. Anyways, our Shaman, they are in a good spot. Same for Enhance and Ellie. Shamans are just really scary. They have those big boy damages, and I am not a big fan of those big damages.
I'm wizarding these guys and I'm doing a lot more damage.
I like the wizard.
What?
Yeah.
I think that was my biggest one yet.
Oh my god, it's dead? Oh my god, it's dead?
Okay. What was that?
I wish they could do something about it, but it's just Shamans. They're always the class that does the scary big damage. And Shamans just one shot. They don't have good constant damage. It's just if they build it up at the right time, they can one shot someone. And the procs help them as well. So Blizzard, if you could do something about those big damages and maybe give them a little better constant damage. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the big damage in this game at all. I don't like dying from 50k crits or 60k crits. It makes no sense. So look into that for both Shamans and let us move on. We're almost done with the video, boys. Yo.
Greetings.
Greetings, traveler.
Is my mic poo-poo? Because I get mixed opinions on this one.
No, your mic sounds fantastic. And let's start with Shadow, because you are the best Shadow player in the whole wide world.
And the universe. Yeah.
Wait, what?
A Shadow? So you want me to tell you how Shadow is right now?
What do you think about it? Like, are they in a good spot or bad? And do they need buffs or nerfs, in your opinion?
Okay, so I think obviously most people complain about their own class and spec. So I'm a little biased with that. But I think Shadow's in a really bad spot.
Okay.
We're talking PvP strictly, right?
Yes, PvP strictly.
Okay, so for Arena, for threes, Shadow is pretty bad, but it's not unplayable. Like, it's playable, but it's kind of poo-poo.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of poo-poo, especially for Shadow Priests and Warlocks. I think that's the most complaints I hear in the game.
Yeah, I think Warlocks are kind of the same. They're like a one-trick pony. With Affliction, they have a one-shot with Drain Life. Not much else. They're very squishy. And then Priests, they have no damage. Because we're forced to play Edge of Insanity, which makes us a little tankier. So tanky-wise, we're pretty good. CC is
I
pretty
can
good.
actually see that.
Yeah, CC is good. Utility is really good. So that's why I can't complain 100%, but damage is...
Would you like sacrifice some of your tankiness for damage, if that's possible?
Well, you can do that right now by going Void Form. If I go Void Form, I do a little bit more damage. I still don't compare to Warriors or Demon Hunters or those broken class. Like there's no way I get close to them. But I do a bit more damage, but it's just not worth it because I die. Even with the Edge of Insanity, you still die a lot.
Can you explain for the people that don't know, like, what happens when you pop?
You have a PvP talent called Edge of Insanity. And Edge of Insanity makes it so that you take 20% less damage when you're over 60 Insanity, but not in Void Form. So you'll see a lot of priests, even in tournaments and high-rated priests. All they do when the gates open, they pop their Chihuahua, their little Mindbender. Because a lot of times, especially at high rating, people are going to try to just one-shot the priest before he gets to 60 Insanity. So you want to get there really fast, just pop your Mindbender, get to 60 Insanity, and then you're tanky. Then you can live. Then you can start playing the game. That's why it's scary against RMP or against RMD, because everyone's invisible. So they're going to get an opener with 0 Insanity. So you're...
I see.
A little bit.
Okay, what do you think they could do to make Shadow better?
I mean, if you go in the forums, there's so many suggestions.
Like you as the experience, like those guys are like 1400s. Like you as a high experienced Shadow Priest player, like what do you think is the best option? Not being biased, like honest Not asking for too much, but
make it OP, boy. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see a bigger rework, but that's probably not gonna happen for a while.
Dude, I would love to. Okay, here's what my plan is. After they balance out the whole game, like it's gonna be hard to balance out the whole game. After they get it to a little sand castle, like when they see a little bit, you know what I'm talking about? Like they're forming the sand castle. It's almost ready. I think then they can start. What were you saying? Reworking. Yes, reworking the class.
I was gonna talk about Azurite traits. I don't know if Azurite traits, if we get new ones every season, like with every new raid, do we get new traits? Because then that could be
the change. Yeah, you're right.
That could be enough change to make every spec feel fresh.
That's very
throughout
true.
the entire expansion. But it would mean that every spec would be broken at the start of every season again.
True.
So we don't know exactly how that's gonna work.
What would you like for rework?
For Shadow, for rework right now, just again, not to make it OP. I would like, first of all, I would like Shadow to have some identity, because right now it doesn't do a lot. That doesn't do anything really good. It's just CC. So I would like to see Void Form buffed. I'd like to see a reason to go in Void Form. Because right now you go in Void Form, you lose your tankiness, and you do a tiny bit more damage. Tiny bit more damage.
Tiny little sprinkle.
Yeah, sprinkle some 5k Void damage here. It's not the biggest deal.
And the Demon Hunter is just slashing 20k of your health, you know?
Rising Sun. Okay.
Rising Sun. Just 60k, you know.
I saw. I've seen things in BFA. So I want them to buff Void Form. I want it to be like, I want to have a reason to go in Void Form. But if I say that, then I kind of shoot myself in the foot, because if I go in Void Form, I just die.
You'll take the damage.
Yeah. There's also one more thing with Shadow Form and Void Form. Shadow Form has a passive that says you take 10% reduced physical damage. And when you go in Void Form, your Shadow Form goes away. It gets replaced. So you lose that as well. So you take 32% more physical damage in Void Form.
Damn, that's rough, dude. Shadow has it rough.
Yeah. So I'd like to maybe keep Edge of Insanity in Void Form as well. Maybe make it, as long as you're over 50 Insanity, you take 20% or 15% less damage. But it also works in Void Form. And then, you know, a good team can see a priest going in Void Form. They can wait for him to go under 50 Insanity. And then, of course, it takes you like, I don't know, at least 10-15 seconds to get back there. So you have a good burst window you can swap to priests. Whereas right now, you know, if I press Void Form, I'm just dead. I press Void Form, instant regret.
I know. I remember like Clack going, go Void Form. Yeah, you're sure, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't trust Clack. If at least there was a way to cancel Void Form. You know, some buffs you can't cancel anymore in BFA.
Oh wait, you can't cancel your thing?
No, you can't. You have to wait until Insanity drains all the way to 0.
Oh and if you press that's actually crazy.
Yeah, if you press any, like, if you try to do damage, like Mind Blast or whatever, then it gives you Insanity. So a lot of times I go Void Form, and they swap to me, and I just don't cast anything. I'm like, okay, I'll wait.
Wait, why don't they let you guys turn it off? That's actually really dumb.
I don't know, dude. They should.
Alright, Blizzard, take notes right there. You are speaking out for all the priests in this video, dude. Is that all for Shadow Priest?
I mean, I could. Obviously, I would like, give me Blizzard, give me some mobility, make me a bit more tanky.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I think Shadow Priests are the red paladins in caster, because mages got blinks, warlocks got gate.
Like that. Yes.
Warlocks got gate and the teleport, and Shadow Priests. You guys have what?
A sadness, misery.
The little dust form.
Dust form. Yeah, I died to Dispersion so much. They nerfed Dispersion so much. SP too tanky.
Oh man.
And yeah, burst. There's no burst at all. 0 burst. 0 AoE pressure. I can't do any burst damage. You know, when we played 2s, it's double DPS. You get some nice CC chain. You pop your wings, and I just give them the good old mind sleep. Bursting hard, brother.
Soaking him.
But it is playable. Like, I don't want to be all doom and gloom. It's playable, but it's...
It is playable, but not that good.
Yeah. Okay. You really depend on teammates. way more than other class.
I remember in Legion, I used to be scared of Shadow Priest.
Oh yeah.
But
in Legion, it was much different. So yeah, just make Void form more impactful and a bit more tanky. And mobility would help, but Shadow Priest never had mobility, so I'm not gonna ask for it because it's. Okay. I get it.
Did you guys have Spectral guys, or was that only for Disc Priest?
No, we had Spectral guys in WoD. It got removed in Legion.
I feel like Priest should get Spectral guys back. That was such a cool ability, and you guys make a lot of play with that as well.
It was really cool to use. It was really annoying to play against, from what I remember, especially against Disc Priests with that thing.
Of course. I remember but Disc Priests would have battle with each other with the Spectral guy sphere, trying to bait each other. I actually like seeing plays like that. Of course, it's annoying for me. Like I'm chasing and he disappears, but things like that, I kind of like it. I wouldn't mind that coming back.
I would love that.
I have no knowledge on Holy Priest. If you could give me some.
I need you with some knowledge, son.
I need some knowledge, dude.
A Holy Priest, I don't really know too much. I don't have too much knowledge. We're just gonna speculate here, okay?
Okay.
I know they do well in raids, and they haven't changed too much since Legion.
Yeah, they do well in raids, so they got nerfed by 3%.
I don't think it's too much, especially not in PvP. Those like 1%, 2% don't do too much in PvP.
Do you know why it's not viable in PvP?
I think one of the biggest problems is because they have just one holy school, just one school.
Yeah.
And you kick that, you can't do anything else. True. Actually, they gave a Holy Priest Sphere in BFA, which might help quite a bit.
To sum it up in a short note, we talked about it. Basically, Holy Priest is the Fury Warrior and Marksman Hunter right now, because they only have one school to cast on. They do have really good utilities, but this just brings a lot more to the table. They also have Shadow School and Holy School. I don't know if it's called that, but they can cast Shadow Man if they get kicked in Holy, and if they get kicked on Shadow Man, they can cast Penance, etc. So they are good, but it's just not good as Disc Priest. Then let's move on to Disc Priest. What do you think? Smite, only nerf Disc receive a Smite by 9%. So not much there. Do you, okay, from your point of view, you think Disc is fine, or they should leave it as?
I'm not sure. I don't want to say
from my point, okay, I'll just start from my point of view. It felt like it was really strong at the start of BFA, but it might have been the shield. It's kind of like the low level twinking when no one has gear, like shield is massive and hard to break. Kind of like when we're leveling, when we're trying to kill mobs, it's really hard, but once we're geared, it's not that hard, right? It felt like that for the priest as well. I was really afraid of them, but now like to fight against a Disc, it's not scary, but it is scary to do 1v1s. I've lost a lot of 1v1s against Disc Priest.
And yeah, but that was the same in Legion.
Yes, it was same in Legion. Like, what do you think they could do? I actually have like clips of me and you doing less damage than the Disc Priest. And me struggling fighting a Disc Priest.
Out-damage both of
Disc is very, if you can free cast damage as Disc, it's very strong. But
but I know they have a downside of ooming faster than the others, and mana matters to them a lot.
I don't know if that's the case as much anymore.
Oh, is it not?
I don't think it is as much. Okay. If you play a comp that's very aggressive, like RMP, and you're always on top of them, and the Rogue and Mage take care of CC, and it's always like almost a 3v1, you're gonna go oom actually faster there, I think, because you purge a lot and you just you're always
very true, very true. I think that's what Stoops forgot to talk about. Stoops was saying
back,
they
like
go
Resto Druid,
too fast.
I think mana is fine.
Yeah, I think you're right. Talking to you now, I kind of realized that if they play aggressive, they're gonna oom fast. If they play passive, try to save mana as much as they can, they have a lot of mana. You're right, dude. You're right.
I don't know if you have you watched the tournament 2 days ago? It was a game against it was RMP against I think Windwalker and Hans Resto Shaman. No, Resto Druid. I think. And the RMP's priest was for like over 5 minutes, and they still won. I mean dried. He was like a cactus.
Dried cactus. Dude, I hate. Like I actually. Okay. Mana. Well, how do you feel about that? I actually want to talk about that. Like,
I think that's not the priest healing through 0 mana. That's more the rogue mage not taking damage. because they just CC everyone, reset, and they only don't take damage.
That's insane. I want them to fix that. I don't know how they can fix it though. I thought if it was a mana issue, maybe they should punish that a little bit more. Because I hate when games go into dampening, and the only reason why they go into dampening is because the heal, right? And then if they go faster, we wouldn't ever go to dampening, correct?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I feel like maybe I know they already did a 30% nerf to the healing or mana regen when in combat for PvP. You think they should up that or just keep it as right now?
I haven't really played that many games. And plus, I'm a Shadow Priest. Dampening is my element. I don't mind it as much.
I just feel like when I play, compared to Legion, BFA feels like much more dampening for me. I don't know. Feels like everyone has their too and they don't die. And I'm like, what is this game? Does mana matter?
Well, actually, it's true. Disc can heal a bit better than other healers with less mana, because you can heal with Smite and just damage, which doesn't cost almost any mana.
I'm not just talking about Priest. Like Mistweaver had 1%, he wouldn't go. Shaman had like 1%, he kept healing. And it's like
mana is a trap. You think they're and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like there's so many games where me and my partners are like, okay, we're them, we're ahead of mana so much, and then nothing changes. We're like, what?
If they're
what do you think? You think they should nerf the regen a little bit more, or?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
If they nerf the regen...
It's already 30%, maybe like 35%?
I'm not even sure how high the regen is. If you don't get drinks, do you actually regen mana just in combat?
Oh, if you leave combat, I think you regen normally. Let me see. There's a thing right here.
I'm actually not sure how that works.
Okay, it says... Healer mana regen reduced by 30% when engaged in combat with enemy players. So if they're out of combat, they regen properly, I think.
I see.
So it's just when we're in combat, you think they should nerf it a little more, or?
Yeah, but then let's say, I mean, you can debate forever now, but let's say they nerf mana regen in combat, and then out of combat mana stays the same and you can still drink. Wouldn't that favor classes that can reset so much more? Like, let's say Druid, Knight of Druids. The other healer is stuck in combat and you just go behind the pillar, Shadow Meld, and start drinking.
But isn't it a risk for
it is, yeah, but it depends on comp.
To go reset and drink? Because I know there's some games where there's like healer going for drink and we're like, let him drink, we're gonna kill him here, and we punish them and they lose a big cooldown. Or like we tell Clack to go drink and then he's like, do you have bubble? And then we're sacrificing bubble for that drink. So I feel like drinking, you're right though, it is with comps, but drinking's part of like a skill play too. Like you gotta sacrifice.
It is, yeah. But if it's very high rating, imagine a rogue mage druid, and druid wants to go for a drink. Rogue mage are gonna be fine on their own for a bit.
Yeah, they'll just peel.
We'll just take no damage. Dude, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't played enough to. It doesn't bother me like right now. But
let's ask chat. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comment below. What do you guys think about the mana regen? If you want to go dampening, should they nerf it, or just keep it as? Let me know. And okay, last question, Bonnie, before you go. If you had to name some classes that needs nerf like right now, what do you think?
Red Pala.
What?
I'm kidding. Well, obviously biased because I'm a priest and I have 0 mobility and I get really trained down by warriors. I would say warriors.
Warriors.
I know there's classes that are more broken than that.
You want warriors to get more nerfed?
For my shadow priest POV, warrior is the most frustrating to play against.
Oh wow. Okay. Any other? Like keep going. You can name all of them. You can name all of them.
Okay. Demon hunters. I think it's an Azrite trait. Makes them do way too much damage with their.
Shadow Blade Dance. Is it Blade Dance?
Yeah, Blade Dance. Yeah, Blade Dance. Weird how it's top damage and also they're defensive. Rising Sun Kick, totally fine, by the way. Warriors did too much damage to me. Mages, I think they're okay, but I might be wrong. Rogues, I think they're okay.
How do you feel about mages and their slows, dude?
Oh, well, again, I'm a range, so it doesn't bother me as much as it would bother you. But yeah, I mean, it's annoying when I try to line of sight and it's impossible. Yeah, the roots, the random roots shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, I hate those random roots. You know, I lost to 110 mage in a 1v1.
Really? No way. I just couldn't touch him.
I can't touch him. Never.
Can't touch this.
Okay,
the random roots and the 70% slow, it's too much for, I guess.
It's too much, dude. Alright, keep going.
Yeah, I think Druids, Feral and Boomkin do way too much healing.
Oh, dude, yes, please. I agree on that, though. I actually get really annoyed, because there's matches where we keep the healer CC'd
and
the entire time, and we see the Feral Druid casting Regrowth, and he tops off. I have a clips, I'll play that. And they just top off, and it's mind-blowing how much they heal. Healer. Exactly.
Even Supati said in the tournament yesterday, said they're playing 6 healers in this arena, so it's gonna be a long game, and everyone was playing tank trinkets.
It wasn't like that. I don't know why it became like that.
Enhancement feels way too strong to me, like really OP.
Oh yeah.
And Elemental feels like they do nothing until they have full Maelstrom, and then they randomly global people.
Alright fellas, that is all I have. I did cut a lot of these talks with the people I invited. Very, very unfortunate, but the video would have been a lot longer, maybe 5 hours or 6 hours. It was really fun talking and seeing all the perspectives from all the classes. I know I didn't get every class representative in there, but that would have been just way too long. So I thought I'd just invite the most talked about classes in here. And again, this video is for Blizzard. I'm getting nothing out of this. I haven't slept for 3 days, working day and night straight, no rest at all. I didn't get to stream, and streaming is where I get my main income. Feels bad, man. Anyways, Blizzard, hope you guys watch this and get a better idea of the game. And I think the majority people agree on the same nerfs and buffs, and I hope you guys change them. Also, I have one request from Waz. There was a smoke bomb clip. I think he used a smoke bomb on the stair, but it bugs out. Technically, it's supposed to make them line of sight inside the smoke bomb, but because of that stair, the game glitched and made it where they're not inside the smoke bomb. So things like that you guys gotta fix. And there was also like a Wake of Ash bug, similar to the stair thing. I used Wake of Ash on the stair, and my Wake of Ash didn't land on them. I probably missed out on a lot of other things, so if you guys want to point them out, like I said, either leave it in the comment section and I'll read them over for the next video, or post in my Reddit page, just write busted, and we will get into it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative. Blizzard, I love you. Make this game good, and put solo queue. Peace. Almost forgot to talk about this. It's a trait called Azure Veins. It basically heals you every time you get hit. It is a chance, and this DK we were fighting would not die for the longest time ever. And I think you guys need to nerf that a little bit.
I have to go through 2 TKs though.
That is the best. Yeah. Okay, he has an Azure trait which heals him 5,000 every 3 seconds.
Alright, I don't even have that.
Alright, I heard you forgot to mention something, brother. Just, you know, editing 80 hours, gonna probably get demonetized. Gonna get like 2 views.
We talked for like 1 hour. You complaining. I heard you forgot to mention something.
We talk only like 40 minutes. I'm gonna have to edit everything, by the way.
It's fine. You can just leave that if you want.
No. What would you like? I'm recording already.
I know. Well, you asked me what I want to see change for Shadow, and I just I was dodging the question. So to be more concise to the point,
give me the pinpoint. Like, what could help Shadow Priest?
Bullet points.
Like,
points.
What could save Shadow Priest? Like, what do you need?
What could say lay on hands? I want to have the ability to do direct damage, like burst damage, when I have my setup ready, right? So I want to have some meaningful front-loaded damage.
Yes.
Like, you know, think of wings or recklessness or chaos.
I agree.
Or something.
You should have that.